To make these easy, creamy, cheesy potatoes, you're going to need these potatoes, this Alfredo, creamy Alfredo sauce, some peas or if you prefer corn, some salt, pepper, any seasonings that you like, a Pyrex dish or some kind of casserole dish, and then a strainer because you got to clean your potatoes. Okay, so now I'm washing my potatoes because they're really dirty, which I'm sure most of you do. And then the next step is we're going to peel them. So I peeled them. Now you notice I left a little bit of the skin on because it's good in potassium and it adds that extra crunch. But if you don't like it, go ahead and peel it. Now I'm going to cut it into wedges. You don't have to be perfect with your wedges like this, or a little smaller, then cut your wedges in half, like just like that. So when you're done cutting them, while you're cutting them, you should set your oven and preheat it to 435. So it'll be nice and heated by the time you're cutting all of your potatoes, okay? So I'm going to go back to cutting my potatoes. I finished. This is what they'll look like. Now you're going to add your seasonings. I've got my salt and pepper. You could add any other seasonings you want. Now mix it. Make sure that you have all the seasoning evenly dispersed. Now we're going to open up our can of peas, but of course you can use corn. If you're opening up a can, strain the water out first because you don't need that. Now pour it in and give it a stir to make sure all the peas are evenly dispersed. And when that's done, pour your creamy Alfredo sauce. Now you can use 2 jars, but if you only want to use one, if you're not making a lot, make sure that you stir it in. And now I'm going to add a little water, just a half a jar, not a full jar. Okay, and then I'm going to close the lid nice and tight. See how much water? And you're going to give it a shake to get the Alfredo sauce that's stuck on the jar. Now I'm going to pour it into my potato casserole. And I'm going to give it a stir to make sure that it's all evenly dispersed and not more water on one side. Now you want to make sure there's enough water in there, like about there. You want it a little bit more than that, but not too much to the top. Otherwise it spills and makes a mess of your oven. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little bit more water. Okay, once you have all the ingredients mixed, you see how much water I have? Okay, now this part is the shredded cheese. You could pick any kind you want, but that's the last step, so we won't be doing that now. Now let's take our potatoes and bring them to the oven. It should be preheated. Make sure that you have it on the middle rack and go ahead and set your timer for 2 hours and 10 minutes. We will be checking this at the hour mark. So once your timer's set, go ahead and go do whatever you have to do. Come back in an hour. Now the hour has passed. What you want to do is take the potatoes from the edge because they get a little bit dry and crunchy, and see how the spoon doesn't go through? That means they're not ready because the potatoes should fall apart once they're ready. Okay, now it's done and you add your shredded cheese and it will melt because of the heat and it's ready to serve. So now I went ahead and put it in the plate. It's delicious. Can't wait to eat it. Go ahead and make some.